I saw 50 was talking about something like that in an interview recently. I hate when I think back to that time where I was at in life.
I signed that contract, the marriage contract. He got trophies. He started getting Grammys left and right, man.
The kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet.
And he ain't show up. He's like 20 now.
Yeah, you what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah. By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I tell y'all who that was.
Stealing chains now?
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything to you though?
Yeah, a little bit.
Life.
I watched 50. Same. 50 did not win Best New Artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than 50.
Nothing bigger, and nobody came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had.
So they don't give you the trophies. I got the checks. I didn't get the trophies. Jay got all of my trophies, man, because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce.
So, you know, you got a lot of people who are not really happy about the fact that, you know, my album is about to drop. You know, they're not really happy about, you know, Lord, give me a sign. And, you know, we in here and, you know, things of that nature. But you know what?
Eminem's not holding back anymore. And this time, he's coming directly for Jay-Z and Beyonce, gloves off and no filter in sight. This isn't just about backing up his longtime ally 50 Cent in an industry beef. No, this cuts deeper. Much deeper. Marshall Mathers is stepping into the spotlight to expose what he claims are years, decades even, of silent sabotage, power play, and behind-the-scenes manipulation.
Nah, he come out on the same weekend.
Like I used to have.
Nah, he come out on the same weekend.
Like I used to have Jay questions. Like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop.
My nigga come out.
I never understood every single album. I never understood every single album that I dropped. Jay drop.
You do that, man. I be saying that I do whatever I want to do, and they be looking at me like I'm grimy for doing that. I want to do, and they be looking at me like I'm grimy for doing that. Just to be super quiet doing some real grimy.
According to him, Jay and Bey didn't just ignore up-and-coming talent. They allegedly steamrolled through careers, quietly eliminating anyone they saw as a threat. Let's not forget, this tension didn't start overnight. Things were already simmering when Jay allegedly tried to block 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. That move didn't sit well with M. Not one bit. And now, he's lifting the curtain, speaking more boldly than ever about what he believes really goes on behind closed doors in the Carter Empire.
Put out a statement and you posted a picture, but yo, that video with Marshall and Haley.
This is so crazy. There was points that we was receiving wow offers. Like they'll go, 50 Cent Eminem, this is out for tour opportunities. He would go, nah, I just don't want to go and come back and she's gone. I'm gonna miss my daughter, man. Right, and I'm like, yo, because I was like, yo, you didn't hear how much money they just had? Why do you want to stay here? I didn't understand it when he was saying it, but then later, like, I went to a wedding, and I'm like, yo, now I get it. Because that was fast, bro. Marshall's a grandfather, man. That's the part I was dealing with, because I'm like, I'm old as hell. I'm like, what the hell happened to me? I'm still in the gym, it just hurts a little bit. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still there. I'm looking going, what the hell happened? Man.
Eminem's been asking the hard questions for years. Why did Jay-Z always seem to release his albums at the same time as M's? Was it coincidence or calculated competition? Every time M was set to dominate the charts, there Jay was, dropping something new and soaking up the spotlight. M said it felt like a chess game he didn't even know he was playing, and Jay was always making the first move. He's not just venting, he's accusing.
Like, they keep showing up next to things that I don't fuck with. That's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue. You show up around me. So, I mean, you don't forget music. Because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a keep being around nigga, when he come around, how your antennas go. So he in a position where he might feel like he there, but he ain't there.
saying certain icons in the industry, especially those at the top, are playing a ruthless game. A game where shining too brightly gets you dimmed permanently. According to M and others, Jay and Beyonce have left a trail of derailed careers behind them, some tragically cut short, others slowly faded into obscurity. And it's not just whispers. The names being brought up, legendary. We're talking Big L, DMX, Aaliyah, figures whose stories ended too soon under murky circumstances. But then there are others, Amory, Carrie Hilson, even 50 Cent himself, who didn't die but seemingly vanished from the mainstream with barely a trace.
Look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They harbor it, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like, it do so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre's art.
And now more and more fingers are pointing back to the Carters. It gets personal too. When 50 was offered huge money for tours and appearances, he sometimes turned it down because he didn't want to leave his daughter. It was M who understood that decision the most, who saw the bigger picture. These aren't just industry alliances. This is family. So when Jay-Z crossed 50, that was crossing a line with M too.
You have a few Grammys, but you feel like you had to sell your soul to get them. And you didn't know if you wanted it for the recognition or the trophies, but then what's the difference? You know, and that Grammys pretty much suck the blood of artists and nominate them, have them come to the shows. And
which they do. They do it every year, yeah. And I'm just tired of seeing it. And for whatever reason, it's like they're always pitching this hint that you might win Album of the Year, which used to be a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal now.
And while 50 might be the louder voice on social media, don't mistake M's silence for indifference. When he speaks, the whole room listens. And right now, he's saying some artists are playing the dirtiest of games, not through lyrics or battles, but through calculated control of the industry itself. Jay-Z, Beyonce, M's not just implying they're part of the problem, he's naming them outright.
Watch 50, same. 50 did not win Best New Artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than 50.
Nothing bigger, and nobody since maybe like Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. And then I get up there another year, and what was it, the Eminem show? And it was like, whatever. I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I go to.
And 50? He's been right there beside him, calling out the same power structures, saying Jay and Bey have used their influence to manipulate awards shows, shut out competitors, and maintain an image built on strategic silence. Think about it. 50 Cent didn't win Best New Artist at the Grammys, despite having one of the biggest debut albums ever.
Ever consider, joining the board and maybe you have a vote in it?
First of all, that vote is fake. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings. This got critical acclaim, but it sold 2 records. Like, it ain't about always what you sell. I get that, Vanilla Ice, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there comes a point where when an overwhelming something comes along that has this wave and impact on music, and you give it to Lada Dottie. Who? Lada Dottie. It's only Lada Dottie. But
Eminem has openly trashed the Grammys for years, calling them a rigged machine that leeches off artists for clout and viewership, only to discard them when the camera's cut off. He's done playing nice, done pretending the votes matter. According to M, the winners are chosen long before the envelopes are opened.
He started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things they would. Later, to me, I didn't care about trophies. I said, I'll get the...
And when you track Jay-Z's Grammy wins, the pattern's hard to ignore. Since pairing up with Beyonce, he's racked up awards at an unbelievable pace. 50 even joked that their kids have Grammys before they've ever touched a mic. It's not talent being rewarded, it's influence being bought.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. After that, he got, he's like drinking his pictures with him like, it's the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got. Oh, wow. So that's the deal.
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
And that marriage? 50's gone as far as to suggest it might be more of a business contract than a love story. Designed to protect power, control public image, and secure a legacy built less on music and more on perception. That's not shade. That's a full-blown accusation. But Jay's alleged tactics go back even further. Some of the most disturbing claims tie him to the downfall or erasure of legendary voices.
This is why I was saying I knew what Boy was doing. Right. With the Super Bowl. Because he was doing like, yeah, go ahead. He was doing some wild because he was saying that to Eminem that the NFL had the issue with me. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance? Right? Makes no sense. You know what I mean?
I was going to get to that later, but since we're here now. And when he says, oh boy, for the audience, that he's talking about Jay-Z. This was discussed before. Jay-Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl that had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just
threatened.
Yeah,
possibly.
Not even threatened. You know, I think it's just when you take the competition from like our culture is competitive, man. It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, you're not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that you want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you're still competing. It don't make sense. Like, what are we competing for? What's the goal? Like this even like a lot of even a lot of the competitive stuff. What we would call it beef, right? It changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment.
Right.
When before that they called it babbling in our culture.
Right.
Right. Because that's what it is until it turns into some street shit. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you go, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what went through.
Big L's death is still shrouded in suspicion, especially when you consider how closely their paths were tied before everything came to a halt. Industry insiders like Jaguar Wright have boldly hinted that Jay knows more about what happened to L than he's ever admitted. And if true, that's a shadow over his entire career. Then there's DMX, a titan who said Jay blocked the release of his 6th album just to clear the field for himself. DMX wasn't subtle about it either. He said Jay's takeover of Def Jam came with a hidden agenda, eliminating anyone who could rival his comeback. Beanie Sigel felt the same squeeze, dropping heat, building momentum, only to be choked out by sudden strategic decisions, like Jay releasing albums at the same time, or limiting Beanie's production runs.
Tell everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow.
L is the one that put Jay-Z on. Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive. His death made it possible for Reasonable Doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets, Sean?
According to Beanie's camp, the goal wasn't to compete, it was to suffocate. Even Kanye, once Jay's loyal brother-in-arms, eventually broke ranks. You claimed he couldn't be controlled, and that made him a problem. He openly said Jay and Beyonce are controlled by industry forces. Puppets for ratings and power plays. That's not coming from a nobody, that's Ye talking. And love him or hate him, he's seen the top from the inside. And Beyonce? Her image as an empowered queen has been challenged by repeated allegations. Some say she's been complicit in silencing or sidelining other talented women. Aaliyah's story remains a painful mystery, but the timeline of Jay-Z's shift from chasing her to building a life with Bey has always sparked rumors. Then there's Amerie, who fans say was poised for superstardom until her producer, Rich Harrison, mysteriously pivoted to work with Beyonce instead.
There was a competitive thing, but it was big love. He was so competitive with me. I never met a human being more competitive with me, like ever, not even my big...
Like I said, I had the crazy track record, Def Jam, everything was good. You know, I go to do a 6th album, and you know,
Jay-Z became president.
Yeah. You know, when he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, MH is running the building like, yo, you good? Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Go on vacation and, you know, we don't know. What you mean you don't know? How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know?
Crafting Crazy in Love in the wake of Amerie's success. And Carrie Hilson? After a single perceived diss, her entire career hit a wall. She later revealed she was pressured into making the track, then punished for it with threats, cancellations, and what felt like an unspoken ban. The Beehive came for her, and reportedly so did real-world consequences. Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard who knew the Carter camp from the inside, confirmed these patterns before his death. He didn't just hint, he said it. That artists were being sabotaged. That success was being stolen. It's a lot to process. But the list of careers derailed, deals blocked, and artists silenced continues to grow. Coincidence? Maybe. But when legends like 50 Cent and Eminem step forward, it's no longer just gossip. It starts to look like a pattern. So now it's your turn. Is all this just conspiracy and bitterness? Or is there truth buried in the smoke? Are Jay-Z and Beyonce really the power couple they seem? Or the quiet king and queen of a darker industry game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your side. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see the full picture, because the truth might finally be catching up. And this story, far from over. Stay tuned.